Hello everyone, this is Prashanth. Let's continue with the last lecture in IoT. So here in the last lecture, just I have completed step-by-step process of building a RESTful API with Flask method. So by using Python, just installation of Python in your system, just along with that you have to install Flask method also. So by using that, I explained step-by-step process. So in the step-by-step process, is nothing but in order to um, building uh, RESTful API with Flask. So in order to build RESTful API with Flask in the last class, here uh, 5 steps are available. So in the first step, just in order to create a Flask or installation of Python along with the Flask here, just create a new web page. The second one, send request from the client. The third step, just we have received the response from the server, and the fourth one, error handling step. The fifth one is authorization and authentication. So these are the 5 steps I explained in the last class in order to building the RESTful API with the Flask. So these are the topics which I explained in the last class. So now we move entering into the right now here. By using Python web application framework designing a RESTful web API. So here Python web application framework designing a RESTful web API here. So here in order to develop application framework for designing RESTful web API. So here the first one we have to maintain some step by step process. So for that, creating the first REST API with fast API. So the fast API is the one type of API that can be used to develop Python web application framework. So here fast API is a cutting edge of Python web framework that simplifies the process of building robust REST APIs. So here in the beginner friendly guide, we will talk you through the step to create your first API, REST API using fast API. By the end, you will have a solid foundation for building and deploying API with ease of coding. So here, what is fast API? So for the first one, the first step, creating fast API with fast API, that is over. What is fast API first? What is fast application programming interface here? It is a modern fast web framework building APIs. In order to build APIs, we use different types of API methods. Among that, the fast API is one of the method. So here with the Python 3.6 plus based on the standard Python type hints here. It is designed to use of efficient, reliable, making it a popular choice for developing RESTful APIs and web applications. Fast API has gained popularity due to its simplicity, automatic documentation, and generation and excellent performance. So that is the fast API introduction points. Here we have just 3 points. The main what is modern? It is modern high performance web framework for building APIs. Next one, what are the features of fast API here? Um, it is a high performance than many web frameworks, faster than Node.js, like Node.js, site.ks. Like that, we have so many APIs are available. So compared to that, we have some high performance of high is fast API. Next, easy to develop APIs. The second feature, and production where production is always be ready. Next, well documentation to learn code fast, and Swagger UI to form a API documentation. That is also Swagger is also one of the method to implement web APIs. Flask and Swagger. Flask completed in the last lecture. Swagger going to complete in the next lecture. And avoid redundancy of code. So the redundancy code also we can avoid, and easy of testing, also support for GraphQL, background fetching and dependency injection. So these are the some important features of fast API, like high performance, then many web frameworks, easy to develop, production, always be ready, well documentation to learn code fast, Swagger UI code for API documentation, avoid redundancy of code, easy testing, and support for GraphQL. So next, in order to design a web API, so here creating REST API using fast API. These are the steps. So the violet color, these are the code lines. This color indicates code or command in order to write the in Python. So creating REST API with fast API involves defining endpoints for different HTTP methods: get, put, delete. Like that, we have 5 different types of API commands discussed in the last class. So here, get handling request and responses using Python function, that is okay. Here we will provide a step-by-step guide to creating a simple REST API using fast API. The first step, install Python 3 in order to develop. Before that, first we have to install the Python. We already know Python 3, pip.3 according to your based on your operating system. You can, which type of Python version supported by the operating system, you can install on that only. So here pip.install fast API, that is the first step. Install UVCon, which is asynchronous gateway interface for your server using that also pip install UVCon also. Now create a main.py file and import fast API also. Create a server. So from fast API import, just you can import. In order to import, just you can write from fast API import fast API app is equal to fast API, just square bracket. So this is the close bracket. So these are the 3 commands lines. So now let's add to the code for sample get request as shown in the below. So here at the rate just app dot get of inverted comma double quotes. So here def read underscore root, just you can return after the end of the day, you can return just hello world or whatever, just you can close the flower bracket. So this is the get request as shown in the here. Next here, hence the main dot file, just we will look like this here. So fast from fast API import fast API app is equal to fast API at the rate different first example. This is the, just you can assume this is the first example. So here fg example first to fast API example return, just you can return the function gfg example of just semicolon underscore semicolon colon double inverted commas fast API. So this is the first get the request from the client, and first example how to write, just this is the code. So now you can start the server using here. Now open the browser just by using this URL or this URL, just you can click on that, just directly go to the home page. You will able to Swagger UI home page as below. Next one, this is the just first example, just after creating the after get the command from the client, just we can create the first example home page. So this is the fast API 0.0.10 under OAS 3 open. Just this is the example. Get to this is the first example. The first example, just you can see here, GFG example first fast API example. Just you can see this word here. Parameters. We are adding till now. Adding. We are not adding any parameters here. So no parameters here. And responses code, that is 200 code. What is the 200 code? It can successful responses. For example, 404 data not found, like that. 400 code is bad request, like that. We have different codes based on the HTTP commands, get, put, post, delete. So for that, here 200 code will display. The 200 code describes a successful response. So here no links, the application JSON. Just this is the screenshot of expand the first example. Next one, now try to execute the API. You will get the success stated with the 200 code. So here we successful response, the code 200. Based on that, we move into the GFG example fast API here. Just you can execute the API. So here request URL based on that HTTP. Just this is the request. So localhost colon 800. So based on that, we are having some request URL here. Server. So 200 code response body underscore flower bracket GFG first example here by using fast API. Close the flower bracket. Responses code successful response from the fast API. Next, create an item in. So here up to now the successful responses we got. So here next, creating an item in the fast API. So in order to create that, creating an item in fast API involves defining a data model for the item, creating an API endpoint to handle post request to create an item, and setting up the database to store the item. So this is the create a post API to create item in main.file. So here main.py file. So from fast API import, before that first you can import from the data from the fast API HTTP exception here. So from dynamic import base model. So fast is equal to fast API. Just it can just item API app fast API. Next to item items square bracket. It indicates memory at the database from demonstration purposes. And the next one class item base model name is equal to str description. So the 3 line describe dynamic model for the data item. The last one create. In order to the creation is our agenda. So at the rate app that and double quotes item response underscore model is equal to item asynchronous diff create underscore item colon items dot append. In order to add append dot item, just you can return the item. So these are the some steps to create a post API in a main.py file. This will create a method to post item in fast API with interactive screen provided by fast API and start the server. It is the create an item in fast API, the first step. So here just UV con main dot Python, just you can reload. So here post by using post to items and create item. So here no parameters we can we define. So here name is equal to just Abhishek Chaya description in a square bracket. Just here this is the creating post API in fast API. Just you can just this is the screenshot, not real time. Next, when we click on the execute the button, so just we can click on the execute button. Just you can display this program here. Just you can post this command line, post whatever the URL available in the previous slide, that is http://127.0.8000 items. Accept application, the application accepted by the server, and the content type application of JSON name, whatever the name given here, Abhishek Shreya, and description TCE. So this is the first cut, and code. Code 200 is nothing but a successful response received. So here the names and length 46, what is the length, and application type, whether it's true or not, the server UV call. So the description, finally just we can got the response, successful response, that is in terms of 200 code. So this is the API code will executed and get the output as shown in the just picture screenshot. Next, get an item in past item. Post is over. Next, get, in order to get to retrieve an item in past API, you need to create API endpoint that handles the get request from the specific item. Here's how can you do this step by step here. So as we create an um, item using post command. So here, in order to post, so here these are the command lines. So here app dot get of items, response underscore model equal to item. So asynchronous def read underscore item, if item id http request. So here we have status code 404 or item not found. Just you can, if you get the 404 code, so the item is not found, or data not found, like that we are getting. So here to get command parameters item id, just when you click on the execute get method, so here the screen will appear here. So same as we discussed for post also, get same line URL 200. Finally we got the 200 successful response code on the bottom. Next, to update an item in the fast API. So in order to update, we can add some information to update an item in fast API. You need to create API to endpoints that handles put request to modify an existing item. Import the required modules to set up your fast API, are including the database configuration. Assume you have already defined the data item like that. So to, in order to update the item, the command lines are like that. Put dot underscore the simple same lines, item underscore id, some response underscore model equal to item, asynchronous update of item, that is item underscore, like that same line. Just you can status code 404. If you get the 404 code, so it is item not found, or not found anything. If you got the 400, the bad request. So here finally you can return the item as per the code. So this is the update. Next, now we update the item. Just when you click on the just to response, the response update from the API, the code. So here just put the put same values here, uh, request URL. So finally just we got the request code, that is 200 successful response from the response to the client. Next one, delete. In order to delete an item in a fast API, to delete an item in fast API, you need to create first, either delete, either create, or in get the value. Any command, just you, before you apply, just first you have to create and create an API endpoint that handles delete request based on the either delete or either add or request, whatever. For that you have to follow. Import the required modules and set up your fast API application, including the database configuration, that is define the item model and database as shown in the previous examples here. Add below code to main.py to delete item from the model in fast API. So here, in order to delete the item, so same process here, app.delete and yes, double quotes item, item id, response, whatever the response, either successful response or unsuccessful response, whatever, that is 404 response, delete underscore item, items dot pop, finally just you can call return deleted item. So pass the id of the item you want to delete, in my case which is 0. So here just you can delete, pass 0. After passing, just you can click on the exit. Just you can open this tab window to delete same response. Finally, response body and the response headers here, 4G, the response code, finally just we got 200, that is successful response. So this is the process of response or delete API in a fast API. So this is the uh, um, to delete. And these are the five based on the HTTP request, get, put to, delete, like that we by using code. This is the process, web application framework designing a RESTful web API by using several steps. So these are the some references I referred for this lecture. I referred some CI papers or Scopus papers, so many papers. Also, I mentioned here only few of them. Remaining, continue with the next lecture. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.